his residence. He had been following court proceedings from home due to ill health. Meanwhile, the trial has been postponed to January 8, 2025 for a special sitting, with the case resuming on January 20. And now to discuss this, we are joined by Elton Romeo Hart, an attorney with the University of Johannesburg Law Clinic, and it joins me from Johannesburg. Thank you so much, Elton, for joining us.
Good morning, and good morning to the viewers up in the West.
Thank you so much. Now, given that this is one of the most closely followed trials in South Africa and globally, how have South Africans reacted to this latest, the story of the passing of such a high-profile defense lawyer?
No, there is mixed feelings amongst the South African population, because obviously there is South Africans that feel that these 5 accused is the man that's responsible for the death of our former Bafana captain, Senzo Mayua. And there's some people that is like of the view that these 5 guys is not really the right accused to stand trial for the murder of Senzo Mayua. And so you have these 2 sides to the coin. But obviously, as a legal practitioner, Tulani Ngomezulu was a colleague to all of us who's legal practitioners in South Africa, and we sort of feel it because it's a loss for the legal profession, and also it's a loss to his family. And obviously, in his own right, he was a good legal practitioner, and he did what he could do for his client up until he could no longer due to ill health. But there is mixed feelings, and obviously there's some South Africans that felt like the judges were now, or Judge Ratha was very disrespectful to the man at some stages, and now suddenly he wants to observe a moment of silence in court. So there is that 2 opposite sides of the spectrum, and then you obviously get the South African that just says, okay,
but during the course of his trial,
they're not saying anything about it.
Okay, Elton, during the course of the trial, he raised concerns about his safety. At that point, couldn't security details have been, isn't it possible that security details should have been provided for him? And do you think that would actually, skew the possibility of this particular case being in favor of those accused?
No, indeed, he raised concerns about his security, his safety, and stuff like that. But normally what happens in South Africa is like if the prosecutors or the judges feel that their life is being threatened, they would normally get assistance from the state with security detail to just make sure that the perimeter and maybe a patrol car outside the house to just ensure. But when it comes to the defense lawyers, it's the legal practitioners, that courtesy is not extended that far. He raised concerns. The only thing that he could have done is to maybe to go and open a case at the police station, make them aware, and ask them to patrol. But there would not be a right that he can actually enforce to say, listen, due to the nature of my work, I feel that I'm being threatened. And a lot of defense attorneys over the years was shot. Like we had colleagues down in Cape Town that was shot by people, gangsters. So with the defense lawyers or the practitioners, that right or that courtesy is not extended to them. So that is the problem that we have in South Africa. But when it comes to the judges and the prosecutors, they do get that protection as part of the job perks, if one can put it that way, that they will get if they feel like their life is threatened due to a case that they're handling.
Okay, so let's talk about MNISI Sibiya. Should he consider appointing one of the existing defense lawyers already working on the case, or would you advocate that it brings in maybe a new lawyer? Probably that would be beneficial for him in this case.
I would say that he can take one of them, but if I was MNISI Sibiya, I would have appointed a new legal practitioner. That new legal practitioner would be given all the transcripts, and if there's questions that new legal practitioner feels that was not canvassed with a specific witness that the state has put on the stand, he can ask that specific witnesses be recalled so that they can actually cross-examine them. So I would think he should go for a new practitioner that would give him a better chance, because there is things that I was of the view that some of the practitioners, maybe due to not having the necessary information available, could not canvass these points with some of the witnesses. But now that it's there, it can now be canvassed with these witnesses. And I would suggest he goes that way, but he can also appoint one of the current guys in the interest of not delaying the thing. But he also needs to check what is in my best interest to put up my best defense. And I would opt to have a new practitioner come on board so that he has that transcripts and that second bite at the cherry if one uses that word loosely.
Well, it's quite interesting, Elton, that the lead investigator claimed that certain statements tendered during the course of the trial did not need further investigation. In your own opinion, is that actually justified, or probably that's an attempt to probably cover up something?
No, for me, I don't trust the lead investigator. People can crucify me for that, but that guy, I've never trusted his way of investigating this case. Why was there two dockets in the first place, docket 375 and this 636? Why was that there? Why was there two different teams? Why, if one team says there's a different narrative, why do we not investigate them both? Why do you only stick to one narrative? And for me, there's too many loose ends that he's trying to cover up, and then when he's asked and probed under cross-examination, then he says, but he cannot testify. But when the state led him, he was so open and willing to testify about cell phone data and how the data was and what does it say. But when he's cross-examined, he say, I did not, and the court is protecting him in that regard. So for me, I do not trust this guy's way of handling the investigation. He might be a brigadier, but I do not trust him, and I think there is more to this case. And the mere fact that he said in court that Kelly Kumalo was supposed to be accused number 6, and he had the information on the confession back then. Why did he not arrest her? Even that arrest warrant, why did he not pursue her? Because he pursued these guys very hard. Why not her? And also Longwe Twala, if that is the case, because the photos that was on the phones. So for me, I don't trust these guys, and people can fight with me about it, but that's my view as a practitioner.
Oh, well, Elton, it seems as though this particular case has dragged on for too long with a lot of questions that need to be answered. But then, considering the evidence presented in the court so far, do you believe that the state has built a strong case? Probably there's a way that we can come to a conclusion soon. Or maybe there are some state actors that actually have vested interest in this case. I don't want to see to get put to bed and justice being served.
No, for me, the thing is, like, a lot of the state's case is built on circumstantial evidence. Even the ballistics evidence, I would have, but obviously we'll have to wait for the defense team to bring their ballistic expert. And I feel like just because there was tampering with that ballistics evidence, the bag was not sealed, there was tampering with the crime scene. So it's a lot of circumstantial evidence, but as it looks now, and the way I could see the judge react to certain lines of cross-examination by the defense teams, I can see that sort of, and also by him allowing the confessions to stand, I can see that the state didn't have a case, but the confessions help the state's case now, and I can see that there is a maybe 70-30 chance that they are getting convicted on this case, but obviously there's good grounds for appeal. And for me, I think if the defense comes, they need to now be very clear as to what evidence they're going to put before court, but obviously, with Sibia having this opportunity to get a new defense lawyer, I think he should use that option, and it might open up some other things. And I believe that there is higher powers that is involved in the investigation of this case.
Well, madam, we are in support of the suggestion that we should stand down until 11, so that accused number 1 can have the opportunity to contact his uncle. My colleague, Advocate MNISI, indicated that she needs to go and support the family at 11. I think someone else can stand in for him if that is the position.
Yeah, fine. As the court proceeds, my lord, I echo Advocate Baloi's sentiments regarding the passing of Mr. Mngomezulu. My lord, with regard to this aspect of legal representation for accused number 1, I do support the notion that we should adjourn until 11 so that accused number 1 can make the necessary calls and inform us, and then we'll take it from there, my lord, as the court proceeds.
Yes, Mr. MNISI. I confirm the arrangement. Thank you, my lord. I confirm the arrangement. Thank you.
Yes, okay, so we shall return at 11. Okay.
Appealing to Mr. Sibia, this is the position. The court requested that we should request Mr. Muchuto to come and try to give away in this impasse. Eliri was here, and they have consulted with him. Mr. Sibia apparently has chosen that he would wish to be legally represented through the sponsorship of the Legal Aid South Africa. Yes. Now the question is to identify a person that is going to proceed with this legal representation. So Legal Aid South Africa indicates that they would dearly appreciate it if it were to be one of the counsels that have already been involved in the matter here, that would simply obviate a lot of things, time for preparation and all those things, my friends. What is, however, still missing, it's the identity of that individual. So what we are looking at, my lord, is, because Mr. Ramsipili is here, Mr. Mmalo is here, I'm here, and Advocate Msholole as well. I think amongst ourselves, we are saying we also need time to go and consider certain issues before each one of us can raise their hand and say, so we would definitely go and consider a few items on that point. So we are of the view that whilst we will be having our first day of the sitting in the new term next year on the 20th, specifically for this item, we could then reconvene tentatively on the 8th. We have a special sitting on the 8th to come and deal with this item, so that on the 20th, when we officially reopen, then we are able to proceed. I'm not so sure whether I'm capturing everything correct, Mr. Ramsipil. You can confirm it. You can confirm it.
Okay, Mr. Ramsipil. Yes, my lord. I do confirm the arrangement as Mr. MNISI has placed on record, my lord. And also, my lord, that Mr. Mchuto is present in court, my lord.
Yes.
He's present in court.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
But what is Mr. MNISI? What does he say?
Mr. Sibia is going to contact, like he said, my lord, his family overnight and then have a discussion with them. Then he will let legal aid know about his choices, my lord. But tentatively as well, he's amenable to one of us representing him, my lord, as well.
Yeah, now you're just like Cyril Ramaphosa and Stian Riese. Why did it wait to the 8th next year? Oh, my lord. Are you with me?
Yes, my lord.
Because I'm dealing with the guys who are here. It's not like you're going to talk to some other person who's new to this thing.
In fact, Mr. Mjuto's suggestion was that maybe that we should stand down until Friday.
Yeah.
For this aspect to be considered.
Yeah, otherwise we're like a South African government. You can't decide on anything. The president will sign an act and say, no, I'm suspending clauses 1, 2, and 3. I'm giving you 3 months to think about it. After 3 months, they come back. Nobody has thought about it. So you suggest Friday, ne? So that there must be finality and,
Yeah, if my colleagues are amenable to that, we can stand down until Friday. Yeah, I see that King Numan is shaking his head.
Because you have all represented the gentleman here, all of us. You're saying?
They're saying that Friday is too soon.
It's too soon.
Yeah, Friday is too soon.
Because
To
after
take whatever
Friday,
decision.
people are going away on holiday.
We're suggesting the 8th of January.
8th of January.
Yes.
I won't be around. I need to nini 20th.
The 20th of January.
January, yeah. So you want me to come back on the 8th? I'll be watching football in England. Yeah, let's do it on Friday. So that's finality. And you can the four of you can come to some agreement. Because as I am sitting here, or seated here, all of us here know that Mr. Ramasipi was cross-examining accused number 1, 2, 3, 4 on behalf of number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The same thing with Mr. MNISI, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The same thing with Mr. Numan. The same thing with Advocate MNISI. Am I right, sir?
Yes, indeed.
I mean,
that is a position.
So it's not like
Yes.
one counsel cross-examines on behalf of...
yes.
Yeah, it was across the board.
Yes.
Is that not so, Mr. Moses? Yes.
Yeah.
Akunjalo angifuthu. Ekhaya. Yeah, fine. What is the doctor saying? You are quiet. What is your view?
But if I may just assist,
Yeah.
in all honesty, we have, and I've told the court in chambers,
Yeah.
my nomination is in the hands of the person that should assist
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Sibia.
Okay.
However, my nomination says I'm also amenable to help him, but I don't want to rush into this decision if I'm afforded time. So we've got a person amongst us that's willing to assist going forward with Mr. Sibia.
Okay, fine.
Yes. So, like he says, he needs time perhaps until
Yeah,
the
fine. He has
8th
to
to
think about
communicate. Yes. So, in any event, should we come tomorrow or Friday,
I don't know. You must tell me.
that decision will be made. So, the suggestion of the 8th is, in my opinion, proper method.
8th of January.
Yes.
Yeah, you can meet alone here. I won't be around.
Sorry.
As it is the court, but it is understandable that the court will be on holiday in watching the games in EPL. That is quite understandable, but I'm not so sure whether, as in liaison with the state, we can then request another court or a judge who will be here just to attend to that issue for a confirmation as to who would then be representing accused number 1, as we would be recommencing on the 20th.
Why do you choose the 8th? There's something magical about the 8th.
No, there's nothing magical, but we are trying to make allowance for the restarting of the term, which starts on the 20th. At least then to afford to that person who would then be representing accused number 1 on behalf of Mr. And now that Mr. Ngomezulu is not here, to give him time to prepare from the 8th, from the 8th to the 20th, to be ready on the 20th to proceed with cross-examination. We understand that Ms. Mshololo would still be on the floor. Probably she might take a day or two, we don't know how long, but then soon thereafter, then the person can then continue. There's definitely nothing magical about the 8th, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to...
Our suggestion is that maybe we postpone the matter to the 20th
Yeah.
for the resumption of the cross-examination. This is an issue that my colleagues can sort out amongst themselves and also consult with accused number 1 where he's been detained at Manabi. It doesn't really need the intervention of the court. And when we come back on the 20th, they can just inform the court what the position is.
Yes, Mr. Ramsepi. Okay, let me cancel whatever. I'll come on the 8th. Because you won't get any other judge who is going to sit on this matter. It will also be irregular. Because the matter is running.
think that would be very idealistic. Then simply request that the state make a restructure. Accused did not be brought all of them here. Probably they can bring accused number 1 because the leader is going to do with him.
No, they must come all.
As it is the
Otherwise, the court is not constituted properly. Doctor, what do you say?
as it is the court.
Yeah, they must all be here
As it is the
because that decision affects everybody.
Thank you.
Okay, so we adjourn until the 8th then.
As a court, please, but just before we adjourn, we've updated the list of exhibits, my lord.
Okay.
Family, I'm back again. This is Zebra Family Channel. I'm back again, family. I want to talk about accused number 1. I just want to get opinions from us as YouTubers and our audience. What is our opinion about accused number 1 getting a new lawyer or picking from the lawyers that are in court? Will he get justice if he pick one of the lawyers in court that are not respected by the same judge in court? Or it is better for him to look for somebody else to come and represent him, because there are so many lawyers, like accused number 3. When he had a problem with solitary confinement, Advocate MNISI tried many times to take him out of solitary confinement, but it did not work, because Judge Ratha doesn't respect black lawyers, no matter what they say. He brought up this case many times in court, but that lady came once in court, and the court stopped, and he had to get some information from the accused number 3 so that he can go and proceed with the case of him being kept in solitary confinement. So, as to what we saw during that time, and the results that came out after the judgment of accused number 3, that made me understand that that lawyer cannot stand to be bullied by Ratha. And it can bring a balance in court, that when there is this white lawyer and these other advocates, it will be hard for Ratha to continue bullying the lawyers in the defense side. And the lies that is being told in that court will also be confronted by all the lawyers, as much as they've been doing, but with the contribution of the next lawyer. And the question that she is going to bring up, if she happens to be brought into this case, that will help. I don't know, family. I'm just putting up this out there for anybody who comes across this video, because we all in this looking for justice for Senzo Meyiwa, and we're looking closure for the Meyiwa family. We know very well it's been 10 years since Senzo Meyiwa departed in this world, and we have not got the facts as to who really deleted his life. So it is becoming clear, because even the accused number 6, whereby her 205 were brought by Geninda, but he did not use the same pressure he used to arrest this 5 accused, to arrest Kelly Kumalo. So that brings a lot of question as to why it happened. So I don't know what you think, family, because I listened to Elton Halt. Yeah, it's Elton Halt. I listened to him. He was doing an interview in News Contrast, and I realized that what he was saying about what is happening in that court, it's somebody who watches this court proceedings very closely, and he understands what is really happening. And to me, it looks like he's not too much now in SABC as somebody who analyzed the case like they used to bring him up, but now it's kind of because he's talking something different. So, family, I don't know what you think about this. I thought as much about this white lady who helped accused number 3, and accused number 3 was successfully in his application of being moved from the solitary confinement. So I'm just going to look into your comments and your opinions that you will drop in this video, and I will respond in each and every comment, and I will like it, because it's not about you say what I think or you go with what I think. Whatever opinion that you will bring up, your opinion is your opinion. It has to be respected. So I will also try to respond to some as much as I can, because I don't know how many comments will come up. Sometimes you get flooded with a lot of comments and you cannot respond to all of them. But I will try my best. Family, what do you think about this white lady who helped accused number 3? Do you think she can be the right lawyer to stand for accused number 1, to balance the equation and to stop the bullying that is going on in that court? Because that's the only thing that I think will help the court proceedings to be proper and not a tavern. Just drop your comment respectfully, because whatever we see in that court now, there is a rush that is going on there, pushing for these 4 lawyers that are left there, for one of them to take on this case so that they can continue to be bullied, because they know if this guy pick one of those lawyers, we know, we are not saying they are not capable, they are capable, but I think it will help to balance the equation if we bring this white lady in this. If it's possible, MNISI can easily connect accused number one with that lady, then she can take that case. That is my suggestion, and I think it will really make sense. It's not about the case being delayed when one comes in. It's about getting justice for Senzo Meyiwa. That is what we are looking for. How much it delays, it doesn't matter, because we know it's not going to be delaying because it was supposed to delay, but because MNISI left this world and he's no more to come and stand for the client. So that is the reason that I think if this guy can try, or MNISI can help and try to connect accused number one with the lawyer that helped accused number three, that will be really fantastic. And I think it can work for the team that wants justice for Senzo Meyiwa. I rest my case there, but don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Working on this case, we will never give up until justice is served for Senzo Meyiwa. Bravo, bravo, bravo.